Malzahar is going to get hit out as well. Kassadin and Melz have been big on Xie's list.
Yeah, I like the research here from the LMS team. So, LPL beat Korea. 2 of the games they had Malzahar in it. It was very successful. Let's just ban that away. Amazing pick at the moment. I would even say slightly overpowered and so easy to use against a lot of players to get caught out.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's kind of overpowered in the sense of it's so easy to use. Like the skill floor where you start is so high up, it can really elevate players. But right now, Fofo and the LMS banning that against GA and the LPL because I don't feel like they really want to get caught out and collapsed on mid.
Also thinking of the junglers, we talk a lot about the mids and the AD carries. MLXG stealing Barons, helping to take down LCK in very good fashion. Karsa as well, doing just about the same on his Cossins.
Yeah, both junglers actually playing really well during the tournament here. Now, Jarvan is still available. We actually saw Jarvan banned and then Sejuani picked during the semifinals, but this way it's the other way around. And it's something Karsa can take for himself.
Yeah, the fact that the Jarvan is left up here and the Sejuani's banned away. The Ezreal is the final ban there for the LPL. Don't want that one going over to BB, who even has his own skin for it from Season 2. We'll see what the LMS goes for here. We're expecting the Jarvan, but things like Xerath are still on the table. Jace, for example, too.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen a lot of different choices actually for first pick during this tournament here. Obviously, MF was banned away by the LMS, which again signals that we are looking towards something like a Jarvan, but in this case here, they take the Varus, also take that away from Uzi, who first picked it yesterday in the first game against Korea.
They did have that Varus, that Jarvan kind of combination going back and forth, a little AD on the front line, a little on the back line. We'll see how the LPL All-Stars answer back onto this as they get 2 for themselves.
And I'm kind of mixed a little bit when it comes to, first picking Varus, in my opinion, on it, because I think there's still Jhin, who is a fine answer against it, or a fine choice when you already see Varus, and you kind of just trade lethality 80 carries versus each other. And then you can still get 2 other super strong picks if you're the LPL.
Yeah, my thought on it, though, is if you're the LMS, taking the Varus away from Uzi and making Uzi play the other lethality user. I don't even know if he's going to go for the Jhin, because that's not a very high mechanics, high execution champion. In terms
hey, that's some skill shots. I can miss them.
Boom. He's not even going to take it, right?
Interesting
He's
choice.
spent from the 1v1. He'll stay on the back line and just throw out the stuns.
Yeah, but Ashe, this is actually the second Ashe we've seen of the tournament overall. You usually take Comet on it to just poke with W, but this allows him to set up and have an ultimate that helps engage for the team. And once again, we're looking at poke with the Jace top 2.
So a very popular pick during the Casper Cup when we saw so many Comet 80 carries down that bot lane. Ashe, Varus, MF, Jhin, everything. But that Jarvan we mentioned before here, I would have loved to seen it locked in by LPL and then take 80 carry in the next rotation. I think the LMS are getting some very strong picks at the moment.
Yeah, but I feel like right now, they've kind of set themselves up for the LPL to take something like, you could even take the Xerath that's still up into the Azir, and it does incredibly well against him. Ryze is still on the table. LeBlanc, if Xie wants to go back to that, but the Xerath is the biggest counter.
Also still a potential flex pick if you want to move it down to bottom lane, but obviously looking at the LPL lineup here, there are 3 champions at the moment that will struggle late game against things like Jarvan, who can just ulti right onto them, follow up then from a Varus ulti on a Zia sliding in. It's going to be hard to navigate late game fights, so I think LPL are going to put on a lot of pressure early to mid game.
That, or it gets a little bit of HP on that team composition as we get into the second round. Sion getting taken away from Ziv. I love the champion pool that he brings to the table and what teams kind of have to react to as well with that.
Yeah, and I feel like this is kind of that tournament meta developing where Jace had Sion played into him twice. Both times the Sion dumpstered the Jace, and now people are like, okay, I guess it's just a counter where he'll constantly poke you with Comet and E, and you don't have as much pressure as he tanks up.
Your point before the Rift about getting more HP on the LPL lineup is actually fairly interesting, because if it is going to be Jace top, which is what we expect at the moment, you're kind of just looking at a tank support and maybe a tank jungler. But Sejuani is already banned away, which is kind of the preferred tank jungler. Then maybe are we looking at a Gragas here from MLXG just to have a bit of a front line? And of course for the tank one, there is Alistar, there is Braum, Tahm Kench, there's different choices you can go for, but they definitely need to get some sort of front line against this very strong LMS comp.
I wonder if MLXG will go for the Lee Sin and try to outplay. You
Oh,
go to
last
the
time.
Azir,
Just
but like,
keep it all
it's-
early game.
It's very hard to execute against an Azir. That's why I'm hesitant to kind of throw it out there. But they've already banned away something like a Kha'Zix from MLXG. And I wonder, okay, like you said, the Tahm Kench, another tank trying to make them dig deeper for these tank champions to add HP to the lineup.
Yeah, exactly. Again, the Gragas is still there, and something MLXG. Whoa! And finally, we were looking at the junglers before they started with high win rate in solo queue, and Rammus was sitting right there laughing in our face at the top.
Wow.
Oh, man, that's actually just kind of insane that he picks this up here. This is the first Rammus of the entire tournament here, picked in the finals, gonna roll out. I am really excited for this.
And this is what we want to see doing All-Stars. We want to see picks like Rammus come in here. Yeah, okay, he might not be great against the Azir because, well, he can just kind of get walled back and he's a little bit out of the fight, but still, flash in, engage if you can, be super aggressive in the early game with constant ganks. You can get so much movement speed on Rammus with the different runes. Like, there are a lot of choices here for MLXG. And he is the kind of player who loves to just chain gank in the early game.
Yeah, I'm just sad he's revealing, you know, my freelo here. Like, this is the champion. That
everyone can see it now.
I know, everybody sees it. But the thing is as Rammus goes up in win rate, he usually doesn't go too high in pick rate. But recently, he's actually had a surge, and MLXG has been on top of that. And more HP and more tankiness to the lineup here.
It's exactly what they put into those last few picks. And LMS All-Stars answer as well with a bit of beef of their own.
A little bit more engaged as well, because again, Leona also works so well against things like Xerath and Ashe. They can't really get out of her ulti if they don't have flash available. So late game fights again for the LPL will be hard to move around against such a strong team fight and engage comp from the LMS. But when you're looking at Rammus, you can just be so proactive. And that's something that can snowball the game out of control. If you pull off 1 or 2 early ganks as a Rammus, your Jace gets ahead, or maybe it's your bottom lane where you can start forcing plays with a level 6 Ashe. Suddenly, you just take over the game.
Love it. You see MLXG, a little more offensive this tournament, defensive before the tournament, now offense-defense in the pick of Rammus. He's going to have to watch out for Karsa, though. If he ends up having to follow Karsa around, we've seen what both of these junglers can do once they get a lead. They start to control the game themselves, and then it's just everybody else picking up the kills as assists. We are about to head on to the Rifts. The LMS versus the LPL, as we're about to find out here on the last day of All-Stars who the true dream team is in this best of 5.
And I am so excited. I want to see what the Rammus route is. I want to see what MLXG does, because he's affecting a lot of the early game. They have that Jace top. Where is he going to go, and is it going to be some new route? Because I definitely want to see what happens here. I expect them to take control of the top side of the map and split it to try and put Karsa on the bottom side, because Karsa has been a force to be reckoned with.
I'm just going to say, if he does not gank level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, then I'm going to be disappointed in MLXG.
So should this be kind of early buy Moby Boots right back out there continuously going? Ooh. Is that what we're kind of looking for?
That's if you're real crazy.
Yeah, that's if you're crazy. I like free boots. So.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that's true. We are about to be onto the Rift. We'll see who actually can get an upper hand in this game. Remember, a little advantage, I'd say, to the LPL. Uzi's all warmed up from his 1v1 situation with Yerks in there, so maybe the focus is to bot lane to keep him high.
Well, I would also say advantage for LPL because the crowd has been heavily favored for the LPL.
Very
like,
true.
You do not usually expect to be thousands of miles away from home, and it is basically a home field advantage. Everybody has come out here to really cheer for them, and it's been an incredible weekend.
You're definitely feeling it. A little bit of Worlds after Worlds kind of back here in NA. We'll see what everybody has for each other to start off. A standard in the brush to find out where MLXG is as the line of scrimmage disbands down the river. Uzi really the only one getting himself into a scary spot. It's just to get vision, though.
And the keystone choice here for MLXG is Aftershock, so not a huge surprise coming in there. Obviously very good when you're able to land CC and get a bit of extra damage and tankiness coming from it. We'll update on the rest of the runes once we get the whole list.
Skill order, runes, let's give the people the Rammus build that they need.
Is it the one that they need, though? We'll see.
It's the one they deserve.
There you go. There you go. The perfect timing, clicking down for CA, so he'll be able to have that early Zanya's as that comes up for himself. So plays to be made there if Karsa and Fofo tried to put aggression early in the mid lane.
And we got the full runes now. We actually see MLXG and 957 move in to steal away blue buff. So we got the Resolve tree, obviously, with Aftershock. He then went unflinching to get more tenacity for himself. Then he also went straight towards Iron Skin for more armor in the early game, and then Overgrowth, which we see on a lot of tank junglers, where you don't really, in the early game, need more help. So you take Overgrowth and instead you just scale a little bit better.
Yeah, it's interesting because the more resistances you have, the better HP is, and vice versa. So Rammus in Defensive Ball Curl, you want a lot of HP, and especially if he's going to go for something like Cinderhulk into a Thornmail.
Level 2 ganks. Hey. This is what we wanted.
Deficio fan. Let's see. He doesn't have Powerball, though. He's going to walk right out for Ziv, try to get him. Where's the taunt?
Right there. So taunting. Ziv's going to go ahead, probably flash this one out. Pulls back to Spirit's Refuge for a little defense, and he gets himself his safety.
But right now, Karsa actually split the map in the weirdest way. He did the southern jungle red buff.
Oh.
Now he's on the top red buff. This is so unexpected. I don't know if they saw him actually come in here, but MLXG
Blast Cone
has
just
an
comes
idea.
up. He goes over, going to get the extra damage down and blast out if he needs to with the electrocute hit, and lets MLXG know he is out of a red.
Out for now. He also spotted the Jarvan on top side, obviously, and now they're actually pinging around where the Jarvan could be. MLXG is starting his little camp on top side.
Yeah, but the Jarvan really wants to upset this one lane. We talked about it in Champion Select, trying to make it so that this early game Jace is punished.
Still has the red buff.
Oh!
Nice flash out. 957 dodges the standard. Flag drag as well. Will he be able to walk out past the movement speed from the ultimate as he changes forms and he gets himself out alive?
I love it, man. Both top laners staying alive in the start here. 957, some quick moves bot lane.
Going to be the hit. Zenith played onto Uzi. They're able to turn around a very nice shield and unbreakable by Mako as they trade back in positive form against the LMS.
That top lane gank, that was so well played from pretty much everybody involved. Ziv, taunt flash, 957 sees it coming and flashes diagonally towards the gank. And then Karsa flag drag and flashes for the knockup finally. That was some really just next level. That's the next mind game. Seeing the mind game come after, it was so good.
So the level 2 Jarvan is sitting top lane again.
Hey, don't let the Jace play.
That flashes down. The teleport is there. Gets himself a quick acceleration gate. Taunt is in. Should be enough damage to take down 957. First Blood's going to be going over to save with the last hit.
Don't let him play League of Legends. You know it's going to be the pushing lane. It's easy to gank. They split the map, but it was Karsa's route that got him to the top side and able to stick there.
And this is how you tilt the top laner. You gank him, you're only level 2, you don't go back to base or start farming again, you just sit top lane and wait for him to return to lane, and then you actually kill him and get the first blood. MLXG is looking for gank level 3 as we requested.
Just on the outside of the vision. I don't think he's been seen just yet. They have not pinged it either. And if he waits any longer, Karsa is going to be soon in range after his Raptors. Uzi holding back. They're also trying to not play aggressive and put a tell there that MLXG is in the river.
I mean, there's 2 flashes available on the side of LMS here. It's a bit of an odd gank MLXG are trying to set up. Ideally, you want to have Uzi's level 6 first, and you can just arrow straight onto the Varus and actually try and take him down. MLXG ends up backing away from this one. Karsa, happy after securing first blood.
Yeah, it's interesting because they haven't done many camps at all. MLXG is just barely level 3, and Karsa is in the same boat. He did 2 camps in the first 4 minutes, and he just picked up his 3rd, and there he got a scuttle.
And friendly scuttle farming here on the bot side of the river. Blast Cone taken out during the taunt, maybe? Yeah, right after the taunt.
Lag on
Blinked
lane.
out. It's a new thing.
Fofo getting himself to safety. Shie actually pressuring, almost getting caught up by the minions, and Karsa tries to take advantage of that one. In and out as he is just trying to apply pressure everywhere. Bot lane damage is because the blows goes through on that Winter's Bite and Sword Art. First to face Daybreak and Mako to lock him down. He gets to stand beside me to safety. Looks like MLXG doesn't want this to end. He's saying there's a lot of action from Karsa. I need to make something happen on my side. Flash is there. Is he going to get the minions taunted onto Sword Art? Last few hits actually go to BB. Sword Art still in range. Uzi not going to take the shot. A few more hits, and the resistance is given over from Mako as the W comes back up.
I love all the action around the bottom lane right there. They're so close. Both sides are actually going down. Karsa's on his way.
Yeah, they're still shoving. Karsa, he might be able to pick somebody up here.
That
with
looks
a
like
flag
a
back. Uzi
man
is so low.
on
Uzi.
a mission. Does he give himself up just for 1 kill? That's 2 assists and a kill. If he goes down, Shie very low. Summoning heal for himself, as well as that Comet would have been coming over, and everybody in the bot lane makes it out safe with their kill.
Ooh, and Karsa didn't actually try and go in there. Zero obviously called and he returned to mid lane to try and get a kill on Zerath. Yeah, let's see the replay. So this is a long fight we've had back and forth. MLXG ends up coming down with the Ramesh, using that mobility and then flashing in to secure the kill. And Uzi realizing he's tanking the turret and the minions at the same time.
They took turret shots on multiple people and just divided it up almost perfectly there, that Uzi was able to survive at the end.
See where the pressure goes now. Kind of been from Karsa and MLXG. Bot lane still deciding to fight back and forth on their own terms. It seems to be going in favor of the LPL at this point. 56-39 in that mid lane as Fofo is starting to take a little bit of control without too much pressure. Just 1 visit from Karsa.
And if we just continue on MLSG and his runes here, we talked about resolving the main tree, stepped into precision in his second tree, went for alacrity, meaning again he's going to get more attack speed when he gets some of these big minion kills, and then also went for triumph in case he actually is in a big fight and he gets kill on assist, get some HP back for himself. It's
a little old dangerous game.
Yeah, it's actually interesting. A lot of bruisers like to take it, obviously, when you're just diving into big fights, but on tanks you normally don't need it.
Yeah, it's strange, but in terms of what you could take on Rammus, he didn't go for the extra movement speed from things like Celerity or even Water Walking, but opted into the more attack speed, and then Triumph, which is a high win rate rune on him.
He basically wanted more faster clear in the jungle instead of faster ganks, essentially, from himself. But then you can also turn around and say if you can kill the camp faster, you can actually return to the map faster and start ganking. So he didn't value the movement speed, he valued the attack speed. And for him so far, I mean, he's got one assist, bot lane, Uzi flash.
Oh, that was really well done from Uzi, just getting out of there just in time.
And what is kind of the objective of MLXG now? We know maybe what LPL1 does throughout the game, but as MLXG is trailing Karsa now, how does he get himself back in? Or is it just kind of Rammus into the lane?
Right now, it's control Karsa. Karsa has flash, and he's going to try to make a play in the next few minutes here, but you really want to kind of contain that. The top lane, you know, that whole fiasco is over. Jace is at a point where he's okay. He needs to get his back in. The bottom side of the map, though, I think is really where both junglers will start focusing here, because this is where the party will start happening. That bottom lane, the Drake, there's so much on the bottom side to really go for.
And so many flashes on cooldown as well down the bottom lane. You know, LMS, no flash on their side. Uzi just used his before here. Leona level 6 is already there, so it's the same on the side of Ashe, meaning there are big ultis to start the fights. You just need some help.
The situation sounds perfect for a Chain of Corruption or a Crystal Enchanted Arrow. Little smash and bash from 957 onto Ziv in the top lane, and he gains HP control on that. Their teleports are down and recently used.
And Ziv is also a little bit greedy, I feel like, with the Tiamat here in the early game. Like, just getting into Tappy as fast as possible. You're going to take so much damage. That's an arrow.
Woo. Felt the wind on that. LMS knows it's down, they feel, as they can get some deeper wards in without taking that to the face, and Uzi's going to go ahead and clear out the bot side with the protection of Mako. So that'll slow things down for the LMS side, but I'm sorry, the LPL side, but LMS now looking to see what they can do with the arrow down.
They want to fight here, Rip.
It looks like LPL Mako still wants to go in.
Lots of
Glacial
flashes.
Fisher could still be there. It might just be get out of this one. A 1v1 Bebe in the bot lane, and Uzi, the Solar Flare, comes right in from Sword Art. They take that fight. The top side loses CA and MLXG, and the LMS close in immediately, knowing the ultimate's down on Uzi.
Karsa on the other side of this here, they may try to dive for Mako.
Very slow. It's going to be Sword Art throwing down the W for a little bit more tankiness as Karsa goes in for the kill.
A clean 4 for 0 for the LMS. That was probably the cleanest flag and drag into a Shen taunt that I have seen, because that was so fast from Ziv. As soon as Ziv came through, usually the Shen just stands there for like a half second realizing it finally completed, but it was just across two people immediately.
They're taking half-out fights, though.
I mean, yeah, they are, and this is also something we talked about in Champ Select. There's a lot of champions on the side of LPL that can't really get out of an ulti from a job, and especially if you don't have flash. And in this case here, a lot of the flashes were down even before the fight started, so great engage from LMS, great call. After Karsa was actually backing away at first, they're like, no, turn around, get in there.
Ziv's like, get in there!
Yeah, come on, let's kill these guys. And then suddenly, they pick up a bunch of kills.
I don't know what 957 is trying to do here with MLXG. MLXG looks like he's trying to get into the bush on the top side.
Maybe. He loves hugging the wall right now. Did it on the bot side?
Yeah.
Not this. Maybe he's allergic to the grass. Who knows?
Yeah,
We'll have to ask.
It's strange. I was like, I don't feel like Ziv is ever going to push that lane up. He'll probably stay at that 1/3 point of his
Not
own
too
lane.
fast, at least, right?
Yeah.
So that obviously means, though, if you are the LPL, if you can actually try and force something on bottom side, and 957 is alone top lane, he will take the tower.
Yes.
Like, he's gonna take that one, get a big objective for your team, and try and make sure Uzi doesn't die again on the bottom side. He still doesn't have flash. Leona ulti is ready. It's almost a free kill on the bottom side if Karsa is there.
Yeah, there are a few things you can do here as the LPL. I would even say there's potential to lane swap after this back and have the Ashe try to get the turret, but I feel like leaving 957 here, they're trying to counter, trying to get something.
Smart player.
Great positioning. Could get the Cataclysm in, but they decide not to. Just outside turret range, it may not have been the finalizing kill. And 957 holds his flash.
At the start of the tournament, when it was Karsa and Ziv, I remember just being like, I really want to watch Karsa again alongside Ziv. It was the last All-Stars that it happened, and it was fantastic then. And I love seeing Karsa playing with a top laner that is aggressive and has the potential to carry a game. Historically, he's played with people like MMD, and he's also played alongside Stake. Not guys who are known for carrying. They're mostly tank players. But Ziv, we saw the synergy earlier with the engage, and we're seeing it kind of line up here in the aggression.
Ash arrow, flash arrow coming out of Bebe. He keeps himself safe. 5-1 here. Just about 13 minutes into the game. LPL is trying to give himself a way back in. And I'm sure we'll see that arrow as it comes up every time from Uzi.
Well, at the moment, we haven't really seen LPL get the advantage they kind of need, I feel like, to really make use of their composition, because sieging with Xerath, if you're already behind against a lot of hard engage, is extremely difficult to do. Rammus as well, like, sure, he gets extremely tanky, but in late game fights, it's taunt one guy. That's kind of your purpose. So you want to utilize his early strength in terms of ganking, and right now it's Karsa kind of controlling the game.
Yeah, and just to add on top of that, this looks even worse for the LPL because Fofo will probably be untouched during the mid-late game portions of these team fights because they have so many people going forward, and the LPL will try to collapse, and they don't have as much backline access. And Fofo is already ahead 40 CS. He has done fantastically. We talked about him and how this is the first tournament where he's been exposed to a Western audience. And we're seeing how J-Team was at the top of the standings for the LMS during the regular season most of the time. That's an insane CS advantage already. He's at that 10 per minute mark, plus some.
Gives them a lot of control over any of these fights if they decide to group, and really poke is what the LPL wants. So if LMS can get LPL to group up, Fofo will have a great time. Teleport back to the top side. Ziv gets himself prepared for some action.
Yeah, and when the poke does come online for the LPL, it will take a bit, and it's mostly GA, but at the same time, he's behind, and we were talking about this at the start. This is supposed to be a Xerath counter matchup where he counters the Azir. Look at this down bottom.
Glacial Fisher, Ash Arrow, ult's going back and forth. The Sword Art's not taking too much on the back line. Baby's not been able to deliver to Mako, though, so they're at a health disadvantage here. Concussive blows onto Sword Art as they keep delivering. As Ranger's focus wears off, Uzi feels like that is enough damage. Follow-up volley coming to end the fight.
Jie was also moving down to potentially land his ulti and actually try and secure a kill here, but Sword Art is not going to be happy with that engage. You need to land that ulti straight in the face of Uzi, at least force his flash. In fact, he ended up going in after already missing the stun, so that meant there was a lot of damage in return, and the LMS bottom lane actually lost that trade.
And there's Rammus.
Many attempts to get to the top side. 957 takes a pretty bad fight, but he can still get in for the damage. A good taunt from MLXG. Does 957 want to change forms to get in under the turret? It's going to be MLXG tanking first. A good flash from Dem, but he's going to be able to clean him up with the E.
That one is very important here for the LPL. They need to get this tower down here, need to start getting some gold on the board. Bottom lane here, they gotta just make sure they don't get ganked by Karsa. They're playing safe, they're backing away, and suddenly they get a turret.
Yeah, exactly the point that MLXG should be targeting, because 957, that Jace, you're supposed to have pressure with it from the pick ban. It's been shut down. It's a 3-0 Ziv on that Shen earlier. And that's really what you want to do, is get that turret, because it looked like he was now pushing the Jace in and winning trades against the Jace. And this will reverse that matchup and give them a lot of gold that they desperately need on the LPL side.
Simple gang from MLXG onto Ziv. No early flash to try and get onto that turret as fast as possible. He takes a lot of damage during the taunt. And 957 knowing he can finish the kill.
I don't think Ziv was expecting that much damage from the Rammus during the taunt, because he had just gone and taunted 957, and he didn't take almost anything from him.
Coming up big on that one, getting Ziv nice and fat, and then getting the Thanksgiving kill for him over to 957. A little bit of extra gold there. And now we'll see what the kind of pressure on the top side is. Ziv starting to bring that down into the jungle with a bit of vision, so make sure he can stay safe on any ganks that start to come his way from Karsa, who's actually been a little quieted down, if you will, after the beginning part of the game.
So BB still doesn't have a flash, but there is a Shen ulti ready, making this a little bit scary for the LPL if they want to actually tower dive. MLXG is sitting here, waiting, also ready to counter gank if Karsa shows up, but realizing, okay, it's pretty difficult to actually go under the turret, also with Leona. Karsa's on the way though, and there is currently no backup.
Mid laners still somewhat in vision. I think not having CA there may call off anything from the side of LMS. Karsa goes to clear the wards. A good push up by Uzi and Mako to set that up very calmly and wait for MLXG to come in for the counter game. 17 minutes in, as you said, Cyrene, still a lot of focus bottom with a few love taps top whenever they're kind of jungling towards that section.
Yeah, it's really, the junglers are kind of influencing the whole map. Both of them have 100% kill participation on both sides. And we're seeing when they show up what the instincts of MLXG and Karsa kind of are. And I feel like Karsa, we're seeing like that solo queue where this is the lane that I need to reverse. This is the lane that is having some issues. And MLXG, it seemed like he was trying to play a little bit more like a professional setting. Like, oh, this is where I'm supposed to go early on. This is the matchup I need to actually influence. And then when he started going for those repeat ganks over and over, like covering top lane, that one I thought was incredibly interesting with the Rammus just kind of sitting there. So, solo queue seems to be the way to go.
I just like the cast is like, I'm just gonna control mid lane and let Fofo kind of get further ahead. 200 CS at 17 or just about 18 minutes into the game is absolutely insane farming from this Azir. And no one is touching him. He even has cleanse for late game if he gets taunted. That's not gonna do anything.
Ash arrow, like you're hoping for something like that, but it's not even gonna land.
Sword Art. Pretty damn tanky. Chain of Corruption
That's
goes
no
back. MLXG, however, just on the side as he starts to teeter back and forth, seeing Karsa. Karsa enters the fray, and now they taunt into Mako. MLXG wants to taunt back, but says it's not worth his life, and they leave Mako to go down.
And I get it, you want to get some kills in this lane here, but when you land the arrow onto the support, then that's not really the guy you want to kill. Luckily, it means 957 is alone.
Yep, gets to get this turret to half HP. He'll take this down. That hypercharge already ranked 5. He'll be able to pick this one up and keep his teleport too, so he may be able to be influential in this upcoming part of the game.
MLXG now able to pretty much be all over the map, causing a little bit of mayhem, but still losing Mako on the bot side, gaining the turret from 957 in the top. LPL keeps himself in a pretty good spot, just about 1,000 gold down.
That could have been next level mind games though from the LPL bot lane.
Oh yeah?
Force a fight in the support. We see flashes away. If Mako was just ready to flash as well, they could both maybe have stayed alive while 957 took that tower. Look at this here. They're baiting the fight. MLXG is kind of like, I don't really want to go in.
The MLXG just, nope, I'm out.
But look, if Mako here can actually flash away from this one, he probably can't because there's a Leona ulti landing after, but they will get a tower at least. Sadly, those will lose a bot tower, so in the end, not a great trade.
Yeah, I did think the sequencing was quite good from the LMS because Karsa still had ultimate, still had flash, so he could chase a flash and potentially follow up afterwards. But they decided, let's wait for it, and nobody had to really blow flash there. It was just a death for Mako.
Wouldn't be surprised if there's a rinse and repeat as well. We saw Uzi try to dodge out of the Zenith blade there with his flash down. Cataclysm is up, and so is Karsa's flash, so they may get a very quick kill back down in the bot lane on Uzi if they so choose to.
Yeah, they can try and kill Uzi. They already killed the tower, meaning they can actually start roaming. And that's kind of thing I'm missing from this Leona here is get out on the map, man. Come on, I want to see you mid lane. I want to see you in the enemy jungle. You're so good at forcing these early skirmishes. And now Sword Art is unleashed.
Yeah, he did buy Moby Boots' very first item, and then he was just up in the river. That's about it. He hasn't gone other places. Now that the lane's down, you can see Fofo, after buying the 2 penetration items, in a good spot.
Good poke. Arcane Mirage comes out. He will be able to dance it quite well. Sword Art face-to-face with MLXG as they get themselves to safety. A lot of love taps here from these teams, and Comets flying back and forth, but no full committal to the fight. Fofo very low on mana here, and they might have to change the thought about the fight.
Well, a few seconds on that Shen ulti here.
Chain of Corruption onto MLXG. That's going to be Sword Art in, taking a lot of damage. And here comes Mako and the rest of the team. As Mako goes down, Sword Art is in. 957 will then fall as the soldiers are pushed forward. Fofo and the rest of the team looking for a bit more.
Yeah, the Shen ultimate from Ziv, keeping a minute, able to turn it around there at the end. This Shen is huge, and we saw what Fofo was able to do with all that damage. It's so hard to get to him and even make him blow the cleanse.
I like to play the Fofo. Take a bit of damage at first, kind of bait around the mid lane. Come on, guys, you can kill me in here. Just all 5 try. And then the moment the LPL group up, instantly LMS turned around. We see the engage here. It's after some of the pokes already landed, but suddenly MLXG too close to the turret. Kasa coming behind as well. There's so many ways to get onto the LPL team and just win the fight for LMS.
Yeah, the LPL would have to stay. This is basically an artillery team composition. You should almost never be fully engaging and putting yourself at risk, but it's so hard to not do that to push the game forward. It requires a lot of macro and kind of dividing them across the map with something like the Jace, but I don't see that happening with these compositions these teams that have only been together for like 2 weeks.
Also, artillery kind of suck if the enemy can just shoot a grenade in and destroy your cannon instantly, which is what's happening in these fights here. You can't really protect them, even if you have people in front. They're just firing it over your head.
They even have their own artillery as well. Just the fact that Fofo is at that 250 CS mark. Now he's got some kills in the Leandries. This is a very scary Azir and a scary Shen, both the solo laners.
Time to outplay. This is All-Stars.
Throws down the Youngwoo, tries to be good, gets himself behind the turret to play a little back and forth, but they pin him up against the bars, take him down. And 957 coming back up. 37 seconds, and they have top turret to themselves as LPL tries to defend.
It's hard to outplay that, Deficio. It's like very hard.
I was talking about Sword Art. Manning the CC.
Walking up and queuing.
Hey,
This is All-Stars!
Former support, man. You take what you can get. That was an outplay. He landed a stun.
I like it. I like it. Learning with Deficio.
See, he's fed as well. 303. Best KDA. Almost best KDA.
Yeah. I mean, he's looking at his AD carry, like, you gotta get some of those kills.
I mean, you could be like Karsa and have 100% kill participation and no deaths. Still pretty good. He's been doing a lot of that.
So tryhard, though.
Yeah, gold star, man. Some people want the gold star, and he'll get 2.
Well, something that's not tryhard here, he's going for the Black Cleaver. We saw that a lot before, but that's like the solo queue Jarvan. Not quite the Duskblade, but there isn't a whole lot of armor to go through. It's kind of just, you know, MLXG will get there, but it's mostly for the CDR. More ultis, no Knight's Vow, none of that, you know, Randuin's Omen stuff. I want to see more damage after this.
It's been really fun, though, to watch, like, the LMS Dream Team. There's so many good players on this roster we normally never see play together because they're split up on multiple teams in the LMS. And now they're finally united together, and the coordination is actually pretty spot on when they're roaming around.
And this is legitimately pretty much the best player in each position for the LMS. You know, you could argue like maybe Maple, but he didn't have a great year for himself alongside Karsa. But Fofo, he was the one that, you know, we didn't see him internationally. And he's kind of the one that it really hinged on how good was he going to be when he gets to All-Stars. And so far, it's been great.
It's the pressure as well when it's not just a kind of a regular season game. You're up against other All-Stars, so it's going to be even harder. And you have that pressure of the community watching you. So very good of him to show on the international stage. You can do it on land. You can do it on land. 25 minutes coming up into this game now. 9-2. Just about 1,000 gold lead there in favor of LMS, creeping up on 2 as they get control of the Baron Pit.
All right, so far, we would kind of say LMS has been playing fairly spot on when it comes to forcing team fights. Normally, we would talk about all the sexy vision control around Baron now and how you gotta slow push the waves and then get some more vision. But now we just want to see some more engages because that's what we're here for, and especially when Sword Art is on this Leona.
MLXG possibly looking for a target. Smite over to Karsa. They're going to make their way out saying, thank you very much. A little red power play. Bot laners have teleports up as well as Stand United on the side of Zip.
Wow. So that Arcano Pulse actually did hit the Leona. That's why the Comet went off. And he pretty much took no damage. It's like, oh, it's not looking pretty good right now for the LPL. They're going to have to try to leverage that Jace on the bottom side. It's only a 3,000 gold lead for the LMS, so this Baron could be something that gets turned around. They do have vision with Hawkshot.
Be a big fight around this one here. Mako moving in first. LMS just backing away. Sometimes you're just kind of testing. Like, if we start this now, are you ready? Can you actually move in and stop us? And the answer in this case was yes, and therefore they just step away, go back towards the mid lane, and hope that GA is getting greedy for some of these minions in mid lane.
Flash coming up for these top laners very quickly as well. They also have to be careful where they're teleporting or ulting from. Both can dislodge each other from those abilities.
Ooh, the
so
tower
they may
dive?
not make it to the fight.
Yeah,
right
they want a tower dive.
You got to tower dive him. Oh,
Cataclysm. Jarvan Quattro going in onto CA. Daylight comes down, and with the sun in his eyes, he has no idea what's going on. They're going to be able to drop a little bit of pressure onto that mid turret, but may even drop back to see what else they can get around that Baron.
And that's that main wave cleared down. Able to just dive underneath the turret and get him when he has no protection. It's so hard for the LPL guys, like Deficio was saying, after Champion Select, to actually stay alive when they start diving and just going after the back line.
It's also a little bit unfair, you know, for GA sitting there in the mid lane, and then the Flash Wolves duo just moves towards him. Casts a sword art.
Should have been an inhibitor. Should have been in the Fountain. But no, on a serious note, they're just diving constantly, and that's how they'll push the game forward here with the Leona, who can tank turrets, and with the Jarvan.
And who needs to set up a Baron properly if you can just force a play and get a kill or two first, and then do Baron. That's the proper way to control the objectives.
They go into it right now and they just start taking pepper shots from CA and 957 until they lose all of their health. It's not a huge amount of AoE, but we saw how quick Karsa went down in his not as tanky build, going for the Black Cleaver as they started Baron. He also has perfect timing now, so he can Cataclysm in his Zanyas.
Yeah, has the stopwatch. Either that's for a flashy play or he's going for the Guardian Angel next.
I would say GA, or at least he's going to get it later, and you might as well have sit on the stopwatch in case you need it.
It's a style stopwatch if he goes in and dives and just presses it afterwards. I would like to see that. I've seen like a whole bunch of Lee Sins be like, I'm gonna buy this, kick back, not die in the next fight.
I've also seen some try and make that play where they try and kick it back and then hit the stopwatch first, and you're like, wait a minute, I didn't even kick the guy.
And then there's people who buy it and forget about it because they never buy a Zhonya's on something like, you know, 80 carry or jungle.
I mean, no joke, one of the hardest things for a lot of players in League of Legends is actually using active items.
Oh, yeah.
But, might get a fight.
Here comes MLXG, doesn't get in. Sword Art taking a bunch of damage, but is he? It looks like he's healing under the pressure. LMS is absolutely crushing the LPL health bars right now as they make their way into the fight. 957 on the back line trying to deliver as he has to stay in long-range mode. They cannot approach this tanky team, and LMS comes away with one.
So much damage, so much CC from the LMS, and they don't even care about anything at the moment. They just keep forcing fights. They got 2 Cloud Drakes, so I guess you can engage a little bit faster. That's gonna help, at least for the Leona and the Jarvan.
Are you finally converted to the Church of Cloud Drake?
Hey, we're in North America right now. I love Cloud Drake. Best Drake in the game.
Haven't had to
get another one.
Talking about it, yeah.
Let's see how this happens. So MLXG coming from the back, Righteous Glory, and begin.
Yeah, expecting to actually catch somebody off the backside of the arrow, but then the engage from the Leona, from Sword Art, and MLXG and Uzi up to the left side. Karsa goes in, and then it's Fofo with the follow-up damage from the soldiers. There's just so much damage from this year. Ugh. His CS like per minute is even like slowed down a bit, but he's still an absurd amount ahead.
I love that Zip's input in this fight was take an arrow in the face. I mean, like, yeah, guys, you can go now. The arrow's on cooldown. Just fight.
And it's called soaking, you know? The ability's down. I do that all the time as a tank. Run in, they killed you. That's why you're like, oh yeah, Ashe ulti down. No, this guy used it too. Boom.
My favorite is when that happens, but it's the guy that's dying over and over again. He's still helping. Hey, Zed ult and Ashe ult down.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Worth
0 and 8.
They're on cooldown now.
He's just soaking abilities, you know? He's soaking cooldowns. It's part of the strategy.
All right, they're baiting around Baron again. GA, no flash. Uzi, no flash. Easy targets for Sword Art or Karsa. Now you either start the Baron and you're ready to just disengage when the enemy shows up and you kill them, or you just hide in the jungle first and then you force the fight before you start the Baron.
Ooh.
They're hiding in the jungle. Oh, Sword Art.
Possibly the Rumble.
Look how fast he
is.
Moby boots, double Cloud Drake. You can't get away from him.
Fight for the red again. It's actually not even the Baron. It's been this red that has been starting our fights. The single kills we're getting is everybody's a little too tentative to actually get in to the nitty-gritty of these fights. 30 minutes on the clock, taking stock of everything. Fofo is gigantic right now, and this is what LPL is trying to get away from. Karsa just sets up the Cataclysm, and he throws the soldiers right inside with everybody else behind it.
Yeah, we almost have 100 CS up here for Fofo.
Into mid-horizon.
Well, Uzi right now is trying to hide around a corner, but there's a ward being placed by LMS that he's actually standing on every single time he's trying to do it.
It's not spotted by that control ward in the brush either.
Little
so
angle
LPL
right there.
Feel like they're safe here.
Yeah, they don't actually see it. So Uzi's getting baited just a little bit, but obviously he didn't fire any arrow and didn't get engaged on just yet.
So at what point do you do like a half semi-split push where you hope to not lose a Seer?
I mean, they've kind of been doing, with if you're the LMS.
Yes.
Oh, right now I feel like you could put the Azir in the top lane and like shove every now and then because you have Zib with ulti.
Catch him on kind of a
but you don't have control of this area
right,
yet.
Right.
Now that they have control, they'll do the Baron. LPL will be slow to walk in. It might be half. And there they go. And they walk away. Intense.
Yeah. I was going to say interesting that LPL were allowed to walk in.
Oh, there it is. Intensity in 10 cities. It's going to be Mako going down first. Exhaust is still up, so he's got it for next fight. It could be crazy.
Yeah, that's what we want to see when a team walks into the jungle to try and stop a Baron. Not, just allow them to walk in and place a ward. Just kill them. 957 also losing down the bottom lane. It's been a rough game for him on this Jace.
Yeah, hasn't been able to do much of anything. I feel like we're in North America. It's Nene Jace coming out here. It's just the region itself.
I was actually going to say that, but I'm like, no. I'm casting with 2 NA guys in North America. I don't want you guys to beat me up, so I'm just not going to say it. But now you said it, and you're the NA caster.
Cloud Drake up in 1.5. Third one there. RNG being pretty special this game, and we will get no more Cloud Drakes after this one. We'll have to see what
What a
the team
shame.
can. Yeah, I know, right? We could have just wanted more, but it's not going to happen today. Almost a 9,000 gold lead in a very quick amount of time here as LMS catapults themselves into the lead and now start to take control of those side lanes. You can see Ziv starting to place that vision they're going to need to do so.
They have the Baron. Now they can go ahead and go for that
Yep.
1-3-1 if they wanted to, but I feel like now they just have Ziv grouping
Still
up,
big.
pushing alongside. There you go.
I feel you just got a tower dive. Like, who needs this slow setup where you got so many ways to fight it? Uzi's flash is still not there. Yes, that's a QSS for him, but there's a lot of things that can land in his face where he can't get out. Just take those last outer turrets and then look for a potential engage.
Youmuu's out. 957's not going to be able to get any retaliation there. Or I didn't say initiation.
LMS has been really good about dodging these Ash arrows. If they see it, they're definitely dodging it and kind of parting the sea and letting it fly by.
I think 0 of them actually have come from Fog of War. They don't need to, but everything's kind of right in front of them. LPL's being very reactive this game instead of just doing it on their own.
Yeah, every time they try to force, it is something that doesn't really stick. True. Or gets turned around. It's so hard to force when they have like a Shen ultimate, when they have a way to disengage with the Azir, and then they can just push down as the LMS side and use this Baron, use the engage, and can potentially dive.
One thing that's helping him, Xie is doing a very good job of at least putting a little damage on Bebe on the back line. It doesn't allow LMS to stay for too long, but it is long enough so far, and they're putting a good amount of damage on the base.
Yeah, they got what they wanted, the first in-hip turret, so now there's an open in-hip they can go for. LPL constantly trying to poke them, but they have to be so afraid of the potential engage.
Who's in? They're going to go on to Mako first. They feel they can take him out. Glacial Fisher goes back as he stays alive. Karsa's on the top, and we see Sorted on the bottom. Ziv's going to enter the fray. Fofo and Baby are on the back line trying to deliver the damage in as they drop the tank in front. MLXG is down. Fancy dancing shoes for Baby on the back side as they are able to keep themselves alive on the side of LMS.
So they got 1 for 0, but almost everything went wrong for the LMS. They engaged onto the support, couldn't kill him, the taunt missed.
Focus.
Everything just got a miss left and right, but it doesn't matter because they're so far ahead and they could still take the 1 kill, get the inhib, and sure you lose the flash on your AD carry, but it's fine. He's not really been under any pressure in these big fights, other than this one.
Yeah.
It's kind of like 1, 2, 3. Wait, which one do we go for?
Yeah, right here, Xie got the poke onto BB, and then they engaged onto Uzi. Uzi gets chunked to half pretty much instantaneously and has to flash away. And now, BB, dodge 1, 2, 3, 4.
Does it count when you flash?
Still, I would still call it a dodge. Still not hitting him.
Kind of cheating.
That's Xie's miss. There you go.
Yeah, he missed it. Always an old classic.
That's right. They should have just trusted the Cloud Drake, dude. They have 3. You would have made it. Anyway, Elder Drake is next, so we won't get any more of the Mountains or Infernals. And we see LMS looking to put what could be the final touches on this game, 13-2. So not only have they really starved a lot of map pressure and turret gold and objective gold, but they have just starved the kill gold as well. And LMS is staying very strong throughout this game and keeping not keeping a one-track mind.
I mean, they've been playing very well, and I also really think, as we talked about in Champs, like their comp is just perfect at playing against this poke from LPL, especially when you start getting ahead early on.
Right.
When you have these long-range engage tools, you can skip past the front line of the enemy team because it's a Leona ulti flying down from the sky. It's a Jarvan who can combo from long range, and you can't really block that if you're MLXG or Mako, so you're just going to see your backline get hit eventually by something, and then the fight is on.
Yeah, and then you're pretty much decimated with the lead that LMS currently has. And even their split push win condition of the Jace that they drafted in the first rotation or first round for themselves got shut down early by multiple ganks from Karsa. Pretty much was camping it. Karsa still with 100% KP. I mean, as a Jarvan, sometimes you just throw down the flag. And,
Don't give away the secrets.
but 100% KP, not incorrect.
That's how supports go at KP. Shield. Oh, I'm here.
Yeah, Thresh Lantern, let me get
Assistance.
I mean, again, Sona is the easiest support to get a lot of assist on and get a high KDA. You don't even need to hit the ulti because you rarely do.
Or you just wish before everything happens. They're going to be on the top turret. A little extra damage to come through. Well, bam. And it looks like they'll be able to finish this one off. 957 doing what he can. Pretty close to being that hammer mode though. Rest of the team, and 957 kind of hovering that top side, staying safe so they can get back to the fountain. And LMS says, that's fine. We're getting what we want and then backing out. We don't want to fight you in the base. We'd rather fight you just outside.
And MLXG just takes so much damage. Doesn't have much MR here. Is mostly itemized towards armor and then has the Merc Treads. So when he starts running in, gets hit by the Azir, he's just completely chunked out. MLXG,
Feels bad.
So that's kind of what you do in these games as Rammus. You're behind, you can't really engage, but you get to go fast.
I mean, yeah, sadly for him, he didn't get the early impact we wanted. I think he skipped like a level 4 or 5 gank in there, and that's why he's getting punished now.
He got the level 2 and 3 to
Exactly, and that's fine. That was the first few steps, but he missed the next ones. And
4, the 5, the 6.
now he's dealing with this comp where there's an Azir wall, there's a Varus ulti, and his team can't really follow him. It kind of sucks sometimes to play Rammus in the late game.
Would you know?
I would say if you have actually
Play Rammus in late game?
I mean, I personally like it because you're strong yourself. Your team is not benefiting too much because, yeah, you're not really helping them. You're just
That's the kind of player you are, Deficio. 957, not long for this world. Great Zenith Blade coming out of Sword Art, and they're able to close that one down. He used just about everything, actually, to get in range for that here. So LMS looks committed to make this some of the final touches. They put the nail in the coffin of game 1.
Yeah, it's like final nail in the coffin, 5 minutes ago, 6 minutes ago, 7 minutes ago. It's like they're still playing this so slow. They have a 13,000 gold advantage. It's like maybe we should wait for the next Baron. You know, maybe get some more people.
It is true.
Off here.
Are they waiting for it? And they are going to be pinging on it. They say we either get the fight at Baron or we get the fight as they file over to it.
And this is just a good example of how serious the LMS team are playing right now. Like, this is all stars, but yet they are not taking any chances with this lead. They want to win this game so badly that they just make sure it's one inhib. Then another after reset, now a Baron. Do not throw this game.
LMS have not dropped a single game so far. 5-0 in terms of the overall All-Stars games. And like you said, they're taking this very seriously. It's kind of been a top-heavy region for a while, and when you take the cream of the crop, you're just seeing how good these players are on a team together.
Yeah, and these players were good enough to even beat a European super team, which is very rare, and that really shows how strong the LMS lineup is.
Absolutely, that was a really great point to bring up.
Yeah, I think that was important.
Yeah, by the transitive property, the LPL, versus the North American team, looks like Europe maybe has the harder group, I guess.
Really good emerging regions.
So far, it looks that way.
LMS spreading out a little bit here, hoping to get LPL to do the same thing and spread that team out thin so they can get a few hits on what they want. CA actually getting a nice vow over to himself so he can take a bit more damage here from Mako. And they will put themselves now behind the inhibitor turret they can get safe from. Mid inhib goes down, and now it's just a matter of time.
And we can see how MLXG are constantly like trying to find a flank. He probably needs to just flash taunt something, but at the moment there's QSS on Varus, there's Cleanse on Azir, so he can't really get the carries. And there's no other engage for him to use because the Ash Arrow has not been on point and they've been able to dodge them or again use Cleanse against it. There is no follow-up for MLXG. There's no Alistar to start a fight where he can join in after.
This is the Sonic the Hedgehog cosplay. You never actually get to do much. You just roll around, try to hit something.
Oh, it's on the Blitz guy.
They're going to bop him for his coins. MLXG gets himself to safety. He is going to stay alive. 40-30 on the clock, and it does not look like Ziv is going to be leaving the playpen on the top side of the base for a while. At least until he takes that Nexus turret down. Yeah. Look at me. I go fast.
That's the Rammus dream. He did
But
it.
you know what? That was aggressive. That almost goes down. Locked to the Iron Solari and a whole hell of a lot more to keep the tankiest member alive. Makes you wince a little bit as LMS starting to really tear the base to shreds here. They're looking at the Nexus turrets. One's already under half.
Got one!
He got support!
Got Sword Art. He seems to be the guy that has the global taunt initiation for him right now. Karsa's a little too far forward. Gets himself to safety. Fofo's on the tank, and he gets himself back into a spot where he can deliver the damage. In goes Fofo, pushes them back with the Emperor's Divide, and they divide them away from the fountain. There is no safety, there's no solace for the LPL right now, and the LMS will take game 1 in strong fashion.
The LPL got their 2 kills at about 5-ish minutes, 6 minutes and then they didn't really